All right, I'm going live, guys. All right, I'm gonna wait for some people to come on. I know there's some questions, so I want to give y'all some updates while I do my skincare routine. So I just got divorced yesterday after 4 long years, and so I want to answer any questions. And I think I might do a video about the breakdown of cost. I'm waiting on my final bill from my lawyer, because being in the middle of a divorce for 4 years is pretty pricey. So while I do my skincare routine, I thought I would answer any questions y'all might have, like how did we end up settling and all of that good stuff. So whatever it is y'all want to know, ask me. Let me see if there's any coupons on TikTok Shop. So they say there's $20. You get a $20 coupon on eligible products. Anywho, so I just finished washing my face, exfoliating, all of that good stuff, using the African net sponges. Why is it not letting me open everything in the live? Yeah, so let's talk. So been in the middle of a divorce for 4 years. Finally, it got finalized. So the divorce started in December of 2021, where he filed for divorce, and he just stopped showing up. He stopped showing up to court. The divorce has been a long 4 years. It's been a long road waiting for this divorce to get final. So I'm finally happy. I'm going to put a pimple patch once I'm done with my skincare. I'm going to put and I'll tell y'all everything I'm using as I do my skincare. But I know I posted a video about my divorce getting final. And those of you who've been here with Black Girl Say Something since the beginning of time, Black Girl Say Something emerged in 2022. After being in the middle of a divorce for about a year, I was like, you know what, this Black girl has something to say, and I want to use my voice, and I want to tell y'all how I came out on the other side of my divorce, as well as I've been finding great use using these eye patches, and I'll show y'all if y'all stick around. Anywho, so first we're going to go in with our toner. And I'll probably save this video and put it over on the tube of you, if you know what I mean. So right now I'm using the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow PHA BHA Pore Tight Toner. I've been using this all year. There's no filter on, so y'all can really see, because I get a lot of compliments on my skin, and you never want to forget the neck, okay? You never want to forget the neck. So you let that soak in. And so in between each one, you want to wash your hands. Anywho, so been in the middle of divorce for 4 years. It got finalized yesterday. Literally, it's been 4 years and the 15, 13, 14, 15, 4 years and 2 days. So it got final in 4 years and 2 days. Let me go get my towel. I'll be right back. Oh, can't forget. These are really great. The Clean Skin cloths. Let me just grab one. Disposables. Okay. So, but yeah, 4 years and 2 days, I was in the middle of a divorce. So that was crazy. Anywho, so what prompted me to know that we needed to get a divorce was it got violent. If you know anything about domestic violence, you know it takes a domestic violence victim up to 7 times to leave. For me, it did not take me long, because I'm thankful it didn't take me long. That's what I should say. It did not take me long to recognize that I needed to leave, because my first and only priority is to maintain the safety of my children. That's first. Once I knew you didn't care how my children saw you acting, I knew my first priority was to get them safe. Okay? As someone who grew up in a domestic violence situation, and in those situations as a child, I had to be the protector of said self. meaning speaking up for my mom. I had to speak up for my mom when I saw that she was being abused. I was not going to allow my children to have to do that for me. So my number one goal is that I would have to do that for them. In between time, in the meantime, I'll tell y'all there's two eye patches that I like to use. I don't know if I added the other ones here. I go between the two based on how I'm feeling. If I want to wear them a little bit longer, more like 20 minutes, I have avocado, CADO. If I want to use them for longer, I use the avocado ones. I mean, shorter. I use the avocado ones, which these are rich in avocado. And also my daughter has used them, and she has sensitive skin. So these I'm going to say are great for sensitive skin. The snail mucin one, because she has certain allergies, she has not used this one, but I use this one. I like it because it has really huge patches. Like the patches go from here all the way down. I'll show y'all when I put them on. And they have small patches that you can put on the top of your eyes. Oftentimes I put one on my forehead, and I can put them on the sides of my mouth like that. It's hot. I'm sweating. Anywho, so yeah, so when I noticed that it was becoming like this thing where the kids were going to be a witness to this, I said, heck no, that's not going to work. And so because of that, I was like, okay, yeah. So first chance I got. Also, if you have a really good support system, I'm thankful that my sister had came here when I had my hernia surgery with my tummy tuck. She came here in March, and she had been here for my surgery when things started to get weird with him in like June, July. And so of 2021. And so because things got really weird in June and July, he was talking about us having another baby shortly after I had this big surgery. I was like, that's not going to work. Oh, I also just put on the Glow Recipe. If y'all can see it, is it gonna focus? Focus, focus. I just put on the Glow Recipe. I just put on the Glow Recipe Niacinamide Dew Drops. So so for that, I'm like, okay, you see how it brings that glow, and once you let it dry down, don't forget to get the neck. So yeah, so once it got weird, then by, you know, there was an incident that happened in August where he tried to hit me, and he ended up punching a wall and broke his arm, broke his wrist or whatever. That was one of the incidents. The kids weren't home for that. Then there was another incident that happened like right after that where he had called himself putting me and the kids out. And then it led into my birthday, which was in October of 2021, where he was like, oh, I'm going to take the kids for your birthday. And I was just like, okay, I'm not going to deal with this much longer. And so because of that, I was like, okay, let's not do this. And so November was Thanksgiving. Yes, I am free by Thanksgiving. It was like, okay, I celebrated Thanksgiving with me and the kids at my brother's house. And he just was calling incessantly. He was cussing out my brother. Like, it was like a whole thing. And so at this point, the kids are like, what's going on with daddy? Like, what's happening? Da, da, da. So now my kids is asking questions. I'm like, we're probably going to get a divorce. And so at that point, even after that, let me tell you what was the one last thing we did. After that, the four of us, me, him, and the two kids, we all went to the therapist that we was going to see. He and I were going to see. So the four of us went to therapy, and my daughter was expressing to him, like, you've been really, like, she been speaking up. She like, you've been really acting out. Like, I don't know what's wrong with you. I'm scared that you're going to hurt mommy. And in front of the therapist, he said to her, you see, this is what she telling the kids about. This is what she telling my daughter about me. And my daughter was just looking like, my mom never told me anything bad about you. Like, I see how you're acting. So adults, the children in your life, the children who are around you are cognizant. They are children, but they are human beings. Please see these children as human beings. They know what safe adults look like. They know when things aren't right with the adults in their lives, they're aware. They know what it looks like when people aren't right. Like, children know, especially if you give them the space and the room to speak on those things that's not right around them. They have no problem voicing that. So, anywho, so yeah. So, that was like that Thanksgiving. That was after no, that was right before Thanksgiving, and then Thanksgiving happened. That's when he's like, "You're a bad mom," all this stuff. I have the recording. I'll probably play it for y'all one day. Oh, I know what I'm doing. I'm posting on Patreon. So he was like, "Oh, you're a bad mom, blah blah blah," and I was like, "What you mean I'm a bad mom? Oh, you taking my kids away from me?" And I was like, "Well, if we're gonna be getting divorced as co-parents, you don't have to know where I'm taking the kids, just like I don't have to know where you taking the kids." So boom, I'm like, all right, cool, cool, cool. These are the CosRX. Uh, these are newly added to my skincare at night, and I love it. I love it. I love it. Look how big. I don't even think I have enough face for these. Oh, I broke the tweezers. It's fine. I don't think I have enough space on my face for these, but I love wearing them because they go so far down. So then, yeah, so he was like, "Oh, you're a bad mom, da da da." So that was that Thanksgiving of 2021. If you look back on the calendar of 2021, that following week would have been December because Thanksgiving was like at the end of the month. And so at that point, I was like talking to my sister about it, and I'm like, I gotta go get a restraining order because he tripping. At this point, I'm already consulting divorce attorneys, and the divorce attorney is like, "Oh, well, we don't want to file." This is what they said, and the attorney who I ended up going with, I had two attorneys throughout the course of this divorce, by the way. But the attorney was like, "You don't want to file for divorce because, again, I live in South Florida. Anywhere you pull up on the news, an estranged husband and children, guess what he doing? He offing the children and the wife and himself. It gets crazy." I don't know if I could say that. Anyways, so the one of the attorneys was like, "Hey, you got to get a restraining order if he's being violent towards you and the children. You have to make sure that you go get protection, because what will happen is we don't want to talk about what's going to happen, right?" So look, you could put these right here. Look at that. Being a girl is so fun. Skincare. Okay. And then we put this on like this. Usually I put them at the top of my eyes, but for this, I'll put them right here because I'm talking a lot. Anywho, so he was like, "Okay, boom." So the attorney, the first attorney, who I ended up going with as my second attorney, shout out to her. Women run the world. The first attorney I had was a man, and he was a mess, honey. But she was like, "Yeah, you have to get a restraining order." Now, at that time, I was in therapy, not quite necessarily for this situation, but I was in therapy because I just did my skincare. They want to fall down. I might need to go lay down. Anywho, so she was like, "Yeah, first you're going to get a restraining order, then you're going to file." So December 3rd, 2021, I go get a restraining order. The restraining order is still active, by the way. So for a good portion of my co-parenting journey or my time visitation, whatever he has going on, I don't have to see him. I'm not going to have to see him because, thank you for the roses. Thank you for the follow, y'all. I'm not going to have to see him because of the way that the restraining order is set up. So, like, we meet at a place that's not near my home, and he's not allowed to get out the car. The children have to get out the car, go to his car. I can get out the car, but he's not allowed to get out the car because he's the threat. So, he don't have to see me. I don't have to see him. And they gave us, what is this thing called? It was Talking Parents, but they put us on a new thing. Oh, Jennifer, I see you viewing product 16. That's the CosRX. Yeah, so those are the eye patches. The eye patches. Look how big they are. They come with the tweezers. I just broke it on camera, literally. But I'm almost done. I'm going to have to order more because this has been my favorite thing to use at night. And it comes with like the small patches which you could put on top of your eye. I put them on my forehead to tighten it up. Anywho, so yeah, so what happened? So yeah, anywho, so now we have like a Talking Parents app type of thing that we have to communicate on. He cannot call my phone. My children have to only call him on certain days. So this way it keeps it very separate, whatever. But imagine to my surprise how my divorce all ended. I know y'all probably want to know, like, girl, ain't you in the middle of a foreclosure? Plus, you filing for bankruptcy? Like, what's tea? I have to do that in a whole nother video. This is just talking about the divorce. So imagine to my surprise, in the same week, I find out my home is going into foreclosure, plus my divorce get final, and I'm filing for bankruptcy all in the same week. I got a lot going on in my life, okay? So if y'all could shop the shopping carts to help your girl get out of foreclosure or afford a foreclosure attorney or bankruptcy attorney, appreciate it, appreciate it, appreciate it, okay? At this point, I might as well have just went to law school so I could have filed all my dockets myself, okay? And all my stuff falling down because I'm not laying down. Usually they don't be moving. Anyways, um, but that's all I gotta say for now, y'all. I'm getting tired. It's getting past my bedtime. I be going to bed early. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna catch y'all on the next episode. Okay. Let me see how long I've been on here. Cause TikTok like don't get off now. People viewing your live. But I be wanting to get off. I'm tired.